Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is a Let's Play at Danganronpa 2 Part 28. In the previous video, we began the investigation of Hiyoko and Ibuki's deaths. We did a lot of progress, we're not quite done. I think we're supposed to go to the motel room because we still have that key we haven't used. And we're supposed to go check out Hiyoko's room. Also, it's been a little while. I said last video I wasn't going to record anymore today. I've been thinking, and I've got a theory. I like the theory. I do not think it's correct, per se, because it has a massive hole in it that I have not yet solved. But I like it so much that I'm going to present it. Stop me if you've heard this before. Mikan's the killer. The reason why I think it's Mikan, with a decent amount of confidence behind it. So like I was rethinking the way everything played out, right? Mikan wakes up Hajime, they go to the hospital early, before Fuyuhiko is supposed to be there. They meet with Nagito, and then Mikan says she's going upstairs to the on-call room to get some sleep. Hajime goes back to the lobby, instantly notices the video. Now, we have a pretty good reason to believe that the video may have been, like, faked in in the conference room because of the curtain, and the fact that we know the curtain in the venue was added after the fact. That's not there naturally, which makes me think that it was done like that to mimic the conference room. And it would explain why the bags are on the head, because why would you need to hide Ibuki's identity unless the video is actually misleading and that the person with the bag on their head is someone different than Ibuki. And we do know that there's two different bags because of what Monokuma said. So we know there's one bag for someone who was in the video and then one bag that's on Ibuki. So Mikan's upstairs, right next to the conference room, would have had time to instantly start faking the video. She also has access to hospital gowns, so she could pretend to be Ibuki in the video. The biggest flaw with this is how does she broadcast the video? And I haven't yet decided, because the surveillance camera is smashed, and it was in the venue when we arrived. Now, and Kazuchi does say something about, like, even if there were other cameras, they wouldn't be able to broadcast. The only defense I have in this theory is that maybe this camera that's broken isn't actually the same music venue camera. What if this is just because he said there was a bunch of them back at the Electric Avenue, so this could just be like a spare that's been smashed, and the real one Ibuki would have stolen in the night. Not Ibuki. Mikan would have stolen in the night because, A, she's, she knows when Fuyuhiko and everyone have, like, gone to sleep, and she's up all night, and she has time to move around in the darkness and make money moves. I don't know. If it wasn't for the surveillance camera thing, I would feel pretty confident in it. But of the people who I think could have faked the video, I feel like it's Mikan is the most likely, basically. I just really wanted to, like, get that theory out there while it was still kind of fresh in my mind. Even though, well, part of the reason why I didn't want to record anymore today is because I don't have enough time to do the entire class trial. So what we'll probably do is once we get to the class trial, I will pause the video and just come back tomorrow and finish the video. Because I doubt there's enough investigation left to fill an entire video. I just remembered, I never went inside any of the rooms in the motel. Now, one of the biggest things is we still don't know why Hiyoko was killed. We can assume Hiyoko was killed first. I think that would explain the blood that's on the stage beforehand. Because I bet, like, the blood that was on the floor, Ibuki, like, steps in it. Because I think Ibuki was probably just, like, because she's, like, manipulated due to her brain being all messed up. Like, Mikan could have probably just, like, convinced her to kill herself. Yeah, so I think she probably did that willingly and wouldn't have really, like, she was so out of it, she wouldn't even really have thought anything about Hiyoko being, like, dead in the same room, probably. I don't know. I don't even know where Hiyoko's room is. Might be faster to just ask someone. Do you know, Fuyuhiko?
Damn right.
Hey, Hajime, can you explain it to me again? What happened when you first discovered Ibuki's body? It was the same as when I found it with you guys. Ibuki's body was hanging from the baton lighting. However, there was no body discovery announcement made. That's why I went to get you guys. I met up with Chiaki at the motel, and when we were about to go back to the music venue,
Get it?
you met up with Mikan and me. And when we went back to the music venue, the entrance door wouldn't open for some reason. Because, like, that would, well, I don't know, the timeline is very strict. I think it could work if Mikan were to enter the music venue as soon as Hajime leaves. She would have time to, like, rip the wallpaper to reveal Hiyoko. I don't really know why you do that, but that's the only thing that makes sense. Is because the wallpaper, this was cheating. I cheated slightly. I went back and looked at the very, like, when we first went to the music venue, and there is less wallpaper there now than there was when we originally found the storage room. So I think the idea that wallpaper was used to hide Hiyoko, I mean, I already thought that, but that just, like, that's pretty much confirmed in my mind, even though that's not actually a clue, which maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Granted, just because it's not a clue doesn't mean it's not important.
I see.
We had no choice but to break down the door and discovered Hiyoko's body was suddenly there too. Yeah, that's what happened.
Hey!
This is the most important part. When you arrived at the motel, who else saw you besides Chiaki? Gundam. As I recall... Didn't you hear me? A body was found. Body? Ah! Could it be? Do you intend to spread lies like Nagito in order to confuse us all? I also saw Gundam and Monami.
I see.
But Kazuchi and Sonya didn't appear, huh? That's a little sus. Sonya is on my radar just because she's been so, like invisible this entire case. Do you think those two are suspicious?
Like...
Well, Hiyoko was killed between the time you saw Ibuki's body and when we broke down the door, right? So obviously those two are the most suspicious since they weren't with us. That might be it, but... While we're at it, let me tell you about my alibi too. I don't really suspect you, Fuyuhiko. I mean, you're not like clear suspicion or anything, but... In the morning Monokuma announced and woke me up, I went straight to the hospital. I saw Mikan panicking in front of the hospital. I asked her what was going on. She said Ibuki disappeared. Okay, so he gets the announcement. Now, when did the announcement play? The announcement played... I can't remember. After we got the video message? Yeah. It was like as we got the video message, and then when we were leaving, I think it was when we were at the motel, maybe. Talking to everyone. I can't remember the exact specifics there. I don't think it matters that much, but just kind of clarifying the timeline a little bit. So you guys split up and looked for Ibuki, huh?
Well, yeah.
Well, while we were circling the island, we came to the motel and saw you guys there. Did you see anyone else while you circled the island?
Well.
Nah, we went to the movie theater and the street full of machines to look for Ibuki, but we didn't see anyone. Are you implying I don't have an alibi because I didn't run into anyone? It's unreasonable for you to doubt me. The time that Mikan and I were on our own looking for Ibuki wasn't very long. In that short time, there's no way I could have killed Hiyoko and wrapped her around the pillar with duct tape. Well, we're pretty confident Hiyoko was killed way in advance. It's true, I feel like there wasn't enough time to do that after I left the music venue. I think there was enough time to rip the wallpaper and reveal Hiyoko. Because I guess that's like why that was done, was to just muddle the timeline and make it seem like it had to have been done quicker than it really was. The fact that Hiyoko was killed and we did discover her body.
Huh?
What, do you still doubt me?
Jeez.
I'm used to it. It's true I've done things that I deserve to be doubted for. So don't worry. Even if you doubt me, I don't plan on dismembering you and encasing you in concrete. I don't want to know in advance what I'd have to do to end up like that. I don't know, talk back. Yeah, because you're kind of weird like that. I mean, granted, I don't have any personal experience, just based on, like, you know, the very little media I've consumed that involves them.
So you have appeared.
You're here, right? Come on out. Oh, are you talking to me? Because there's nobody here? I can see you. Do you really think you could hide your presence like that? I wasn't trying to hide in the first place. Hey, which room was Hiyoko staying in?
Listen well.
Open the door to the center room. However, are you prepared? Make sure you pray to whatever god you hold dear, and you might want to bring an extra pair of underwear. I always wear 4 pair. I wonder, how does this guy talk to his parents and teachers? Hello, Mr. How's it going? I'm Gundam. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Looks like it's locked, but he was inside her kimono. Maybe if I use this. It opened. Just as I thought, this key was Hiyoko's room key. Alright, I should go inside. Okay. No personal effects. Yo, maybe we're closer to Hiyoko than we wanted to admit. Granted, that's because this is, like, not her real room. She only stayed here a few nights, so it doesn't really feel like her room, but still a little conflicted. Ah.
Oh my.
Did the door open? I was just hiding the evidence. Yeah, Hiyoko put the key in her kimono, so I used that to open it. How did you get in? I see. What, did something happen? No, it's just, I'm starting to believe it might be my fault. Her fault? Maybe they had, like, a fight or something, and that's why Hiyoko left? Nikon spies her when she's skulking around at night like the murderess she is? I don't know. I still don't like have it. Oh, hello, Mr. Doll. Wait, this is where you've been hiding? I don't buy it.
No.
Because you're the 3rd doll on the shelf. You would think the 3rd would be... You would find access to it before the 5th. The moment Hiyoko came to this motel, she completely shut herself in this room. She was afraid of the despair disease, so she was cautious of you guys too, right? However, her fear of the disease was not the only reason she locked herself in her room. She had another reason. Besides that disease, what other reason would make her lock herself in her room?
Perhaps.
Her kimono. Her kimono. Oh yeah, it did say something about the kimono was, like, tied wrong. Right? It was like the bow was in the front instead of the back this time. Yesterday, I went to go talk to her. Since she had been in her room for some time, I told her it might be good for her to go outside for a bit, and I guess if Mahiru's not here... I mean, can you, like... I mean, it doesn't have to be, like, perfect. I mean, you just have to tie it good enough for it to stay on. I mean, yeah, it may not look so artsy, but... I mean, it's just a freaking knot, dude. She kept the door to her room locked, but by coincidence, it was not locked at the time. And then I saw it. Yoko was crying and struggling with her kimono, or she could just get new clothes. That's also an option. She did not want to smell bad, so she took a shower, but she could not tie her sash anymore. My hero is no longer with us, so I believe she was having trouble with it. She didn't leave her room because she couldn't tie her kimono, huh?
You are right.
The others might have thought it was just a silly sash, but it must have been a serious issue for her. Yoko told me that she learned how to tie her sash from Mahiru. That Mahiru kindly taught her the basics. That's why she wanted to be able to tie her sash on her own.
Perhaps.
She probably could not forgive herself for not being able to do it, especially since Mahiru taught her. I could not really understand her feelings, which is why I said what I did. Okay, I guess I kind of somewhat get that. I think it's a little weird, but... What'd you say?
Hyoko, by chance, are you having trouble wearing your kimono?
Stupid! What are you saying? Of course I can do it!
Obviously not.
Because Mahiru taught me. That's why I can do it on my own.
If that is the case, how about you do it someplace where there is a mirror?
The music venue has a mirror.
Do you remember the full-length mirror in the storage room at the music venue?
That's why she was there.
If you do it while standing in front of a large mirror, I am confident you will be successful.
And then I'll murder you.
Also, shutting yourself in your room like this may be bad for your health.
Now, Sonya saying this does somewhat clear her of suspicion, because she's potentially, like, opening herself up to suspicion by telling us this.
It cannot be.
Because she has no reason to tell us why Hiyoko was, at the music venue. Could it be Hiyoko remembered that? Are you saying she went to the music venue to wear a kimono? I can see that happening. Hiyoko locked her room and made sure she put the room key inside her kimono. I can't imagine that she was abducted by someone. So, that's weird. Hey, did you tell anyone about this before the incident, or was someone listening in on your conversation? I never told this to anyone, and I do not believe anyone was listening in on our conversations. I mean, Gundam is clear. I'm trying to think who all was here. Gundam, Kazuchi, Chiake, and is that it? Is it just those? Oh, well, Sonya, of course, and Hiyoko. I think that's all that was in the motels. Gundam and Chiake are clear. Kazuchi is not clear. I mean, well, Gundam, I mean, he's pretty much clear just because I don't know how the timeline, because he couldn't have gone back in and revealed Hiyoko's body because we were pretty much instantly talking to him. If that's the case, how did the killer know Hiyoko was going to the music venue? Something's wrong. Sonya's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. I don't see anything else here that looks suspicious. There's no sign that someone made a mess of her room, so I don't think she was forcibly abducted. I feel like I couldn't really find an important clue. Oh well. Okay, it's class trial time.
Hello!
I wish I was more confident.
Doing? It's me, Monokuma! Yay! Awesome!
So really, the two suspects, it's Kazuchi and Mikan. And Nagito, maybe. Everyone else seems fairly clear as of right now. I mean, I don't know about Neko. Neko's kind of like a big question mark. I don't really know if he's participating at all in this. And even if he was, I don't know how he could have done anything. And I don't think he would kill anyone. I mean, he pretty much, like, you know, risked his life to sacrifice himself for Akane. So he seems like he's definitely on team friendship. Fuyuhiko. I think he's clear. It wouldn't, like, I think him being with Mikan, I don't know. I feel like if Fuyuhiko was the killer, I just don't think he could have, I don't know. Fuyuhiko, maybe. Gundam's clear. Chiake's pretty clear. She's working hard on solving the mystery.
The class trial's gonna start, you know! So, make sure you guys come to Monokuma Rock ASAP!
So yeah, I would say lead suspect for me is Mikan. Secondary suspect is Kazuchi. And third suspect, maybe, I don't think it, because, I mean, Fuyuhiko wouldn't have, the only person, he wouldn't have access to that information that Sonya told him. And I really, I don't know. I would say Fuyuhiko third, Sonya fourth. But, well, actually, no. It was Mikan, Kazuchi, Nagito, Fuyuhiko, Sonya. That's the sus order.
I'll see you soon!
It's already time. So, this again. I need to go to that place again. But now's not the time to be a coward. The reason Ibuki and Hiyoko became victims in order to find the truth, the only thing I can do is go. Anybody around here? Anybody want to talk? Anybody? Oh, okay. Well, see ya. We're just getting our steps in, you know? That's how it goes sometimes. You gotta get your steps in. No Neko. No Nekos in chat, please. How's it going, Mr. Pet? You are clean. Would you like an ice? We have an extra. You may have it. Leet steps until growth. Oh, no despair in my building. And soon enough.
Welcome!
Ah, I found a Monokuma doll. Plus 10 coins, baby. Is everybody here? Do you all want to go to the class trial?
Wait!
Hey, jerk, hold it right there.
My name
Mommy's such a dumb child.
Don't get in my way. You're just a dumb little sister who's short a few brain cells. I mean, if you're only short a few brain cells, it's not that bad.
Hey!
My brain works just fine.
Hey!
Monokuma, what'd you do with Nekomaru? I see. So you've come to avenge. Also, this doesn't have anything to do with anything. In regards to the Wizard of Monami in the third person, I feel like whoever dies is going to get chopped up. And that's going to, like, the execution is going to be them getting chopped up. And that's going to be the connection there to the movie. That was just an idea that also popped in my head while I was trying to review all the evidence.
That's...
Avenged? That sounds like he died. Sounds like, you say. Oops.
Anyway.
Since Nekomaru is unfortunately unavailable today, let's say he's absent.
Bye-bye.
But now then, gotta go first. Robo Nekomaru. Robo Nekomaru.
Hey!
Did you hear what he said?
Huh?
Don't worry about it. There's no way Nekomaru is dead. He's just trying to piss us off.
Damn it!
Of course he's not dead. There's no way. Not in a million years.
Well...
More importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die. Why are you so excited about that?
How about it?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail.
What do you
What are you
yearn
saying,
for?
fiend? They'll find out soon enough.
See?
Then let's go.
I'm gonna do it!
She's gonna do it. Yeah, you're right. Alright, let's not get blasted by the escalator this time. Kazuchi. Pal, buddy, friend, guy.
This is bad.
Man, what did Monokuma mean just now? Don't tell me Nekomaru is already... Don't get distracted by Monokuma. We need to focus on the class trial right now. Buddy, pal, you better not be a murderer, okay? I don't like to suspect you, but you have ghosted me for, like, I don't know, 10 days in a row. Therefore, that makes you a little sus. Nikon, is it finally time for you to show your true colors? I still have not received an explanation for why she looked so menacing back in the photo in the first chapter. I don't trust you. I've never trusted you. I couldn't even figure out an estimated time of death. I'm sorry I'm such a useless piece of trash. See, she's already sabotaging the autopsy results, doesn't know what she's doing. I'm on to you. I'm on to you, sister. Now, if I'm wrong, I will never suspect you again, because I can't be wrong 3 times. I can only be wrong twice.
Jeez.
I already figured this, but it's best if we don't rely on Monami that much. She's just saying stupid things that'll make us even more confused. Maybe we should shut her up for good.
Hey,
Let's go, there's no time to waste. I know it's sad, but we need to move forward, and then we need to end this once and for all. Oh, it's not really once and for all. We've probably still got at least like 2, maybe even 3 more class trials. And boom, they were crushed instantly. We stepped out onto the escalator and ascended towards the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock. And that's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed our lined up silhouettes kept getting smaller and smaller. I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. I mean, on one hand, that's one good thing about the trials. The later trials are easier because there's less suspects. And when everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, dude, one of these days it's going to turn into a rocket ship and take us to space. The elevator began its deep descent as usual. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. I think Chiaka's got snacks in her backpack. And when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. Yeah, that's typical how elevators work, Hajime. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And when I walked into that place... Okay, it's got a lot darker in here. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No.
Why bother?
That's...
He's got to be plugged into his charging station at all times.
Well now.
Now then, let's begin. It's the beginning of a long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. So the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. Ibuki Miyota, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Actually, my anxiety went through the roof because she kept jump scaring me. What's up with that? That's very rude. Hiyoko, nobody knows how to say her last name, the ultimate traditional dancer. Just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mahiru's death. The person who killed those two is among us. I definitely can't believe it. Oh, it was Byakuya's ghost, definitely. One of these days, man, he's gonna strike back. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake. For our friend's sake. For Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. For Pete's sake as well. And so the curtain to the third class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. I don't know, do I want to keep going? I do want to keep going, but I've only got I've got less than 2 hours to record. The class trials have usually run about 3 hours. The last one was even longer. Get added. What about that thing we got from Chiake? Your time doesn't decrease even if you shoot a statement with the silencer. Chiake, get better skills! Nah, I don't like the mini games enough to up the difficulty. Let's finish and go, and I guess I'll at least record. I'll record I don't know. I don't want to stop recording in the middle of a class trial, but I also want to start recording the class trial. It's kind of a catch-22. I'll feel unsatisfied either way. Now let's send it.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person...
Monokuma will spank your bare back, butt, and balls?
I'll punish everyone besides the blackened. And that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out.
You've asked this same question many a time, Nagito.
You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Doubt.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Pretty sus thing to say to not want to lay out all the facts of the case, Kazuchi. Come on, buddy, pal, guy, dude, bro, homie.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Man, that statement's got big Clover energy.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
I was so confused for a second. I read Hajime as Nagito, and I was like, wait, I thought Nagito, how is he the first witness? Is Nagito now the protagonist?
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease.
Yeah, let's make you all feel bad about this.
The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hiyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
And also, one of the reasons I suspect Mikan is because I feel like that rule is important, and one of the reasons that rule would be important is because it would prevent Fuyuhiko and Hajime from being in the hospital and potentially spying Mikan's devilish deeds.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms.
Now, have I resolved the giant glaring issue with my theory of how does she broadcast? No. We have not figured that out yet. Will we ever figure it out? Maybe not. Probably not. It's such a good theory, though.
We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
Well, first things first, I of course took my pants off.
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
People live there, yo.
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital.
You didn't have enough time to get a good sleep. If you were that tired, you wouldn't have woke up after 10 minutes. I don't buy it. I mean, this is like big deja vu energy, but, you know, Mikan, if you gotta fall on the sword for the sake of me having a fun theory, then you're gonna fall on that sword.
And then I noticed Ibuki was gone, so I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Don't say various ways ever again. And like, I'll win either way. Either I'm right and I look like I know what I'm talking about, or I'm wrong and it's funny because I keep accusing the same character of being a murderer.
Various ways?
Kazuichi would be the one to catch on to that, wouldn't he?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hiyoko's, and not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
Yeah, maybe.
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
Or was it Ibuki? Maybe it was Ibuki's twin sister. Haha, you didn't think about that, did you?
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's
especially
clear what the
since I
problem
was the
with this
murderer.
case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
Oh god, are we doing this song and dance again? I mean,
Sorry,
granted,
I'm only being impartial right now.
we actually haven't done it
The
in this
story
game
I
yet.
just heard is clearly suspicious.
Is it suspicious?
Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body...
Okay. You think, I did mention, you know, I said something about maybe having an accomplice, because I don't know how you would time turning the candlelight off. Do you think Nagito could have worked with Mikan, and he's running interference here to discredit Hajime?
Then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Lie? Why would I lie?
Because he had regained consciousness, right? And he could have been maybe faking to the degree that he was still ill?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
I mean, he could just be playing the spoiler just for the lulz. That's also entirely possible. He doesn't necessarily have to have... I mean, because he's not like a... Nagito's just there to be like, I'm gonna fuck with you guys for no real reason whatsoever.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
Hey, Nagito, have you stopped beating your wife yet? It's just as Kazuchi said, Nagito's the kind of guy who would just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it, I should have explained it to Nagito. Now I'm in trouble thanks to it. Oh boy, the classic waste the first 30 minutes of the class trial doing nonsense. My favorite. Which reminds me, oh, I forgot to, I've been meaning to complain about this. So, you know the last trial, the gravel video went up yesterday. Also, that reminds me, I need to, like, stop soon and, edit the information for today's video. Because that's going up in a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'll do this explanation and then I'm going to pause the video. The stupid gravel thing, the thing that pisses me off even more is that I didn't realize it at the time, but the information is literally pointless. Once they establish that what the weapon is, they never bring it up again, and it's not important in the slightest. It's the stupidest prompt in the game, at least, you know, stupidest prompt in the series so far. By far, it's not even close. And it's pointless. They don't need to establish how Girl E kills Kuzuru Girlie. It's not important. It has no bearing on the case. It doesn't add any new information. It doesn't move the trial along. It's nonsense. And the prompt is stupid. And it doesn't make any sense. Oh, I'm gonna take all the time to pick up the gravel out of the fish tank and put it in my swimsuit that I just so happen to have on me, and then, you know, hope that the swimsuit doesn't rip open as I beat this chick to death. When I could have, I mean, like, I've already been strangling her. I've already got fingerprints. I mean, yeah, I know it's old-timey, but they still had fingerprints. Like, maybe they can't do, like, blood analysis, but they knew about fingerprints. Or, you know, I could have just, like, cracked her skull on the side of a desk or any other myriad of things that wouldn't have taken 25 years as I pick up the fish tank gravel. Ah, it's so stupid. What are we doing? Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
Testimony is a lie.
I agree, it is a lie.
And the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
Scrap of thick paper? What is that? I don't remember this at all. I mean, I guess that's the wallpaper. Surveillance camera unit. Been smashed and no longer works. Movie invitation
I don't think I can deny
ticket.
that possibility. After all,
Surveillance monitor video. So it's probably something to do with the camera. Dressed in a hospital gown, wearing a hemp bag on their head as they willingly climb towards a stepladder with a noose.
Why would Hajime lie?
Thank you. Sonya,
Well,
you just,
obviously,
that gives
because
you
he's
like
the
a
killer.
+1 on the power rankings.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
Don't you dare doubt me.
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie.
Imitating the movie, imitating the movie.
Probably is Hajime's fault.
Imitating the movie, dude. Now, right? One person, the date it was passed out is printed on the ticket. Okay, we know what to do. I'm not the killer. There should be a contradiction somewhere. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
Hajime's testimony.
If Hajime's... And the fact that Ibuki...
That would also.
I don't think I can. After all,
Why would Hajime?
A triangle to shoot it,
Obviously,
right?
Because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie.
Get blasted. Get out of my
No,
face.
that's wrong.
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
All right, time to add Nagito to the death list. Just go ahead and convict us. We're gonna murder him right here.
Huh?
We'll take one for the team.
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
I wonder if we could cross-reference who saw the movie after Nagito and narrow down who could have potentially bought the hemp bag. Because the hemp bag was still there when we went to go see it. Well, when you know, we talked to Monokuma, and Nagito had just finished watching the movie, so we can assume whoever bought the hemp bag came and saw the movie after him.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it.
Wait, does it just say date, or does it say date and time? It just says date. Okay, so it maybe doesn't go by the minute. But I was thinking maybe if you had like timestamps.
Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Byakuya is a ghost. Kazuchi's a ghost. I don't believe your testimony. Let's spend 15 minutes disproving that you're not a ghost.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
I think I'm hearing the ghost of Mahiru. I think we need to, talk about whether or not I'm actually hearing a ghost or if I'm just crazy. It'll take 3 rounds of Spinny Spin Fun Time.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
And we gotta make this class trial at least 3 hours long, so we gotta pad the hell out of it.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
I mean, as far as like nonsense first rounds go, that one's not that bad. It's no Hiyoko's a ghost and I refuse to believe anything she says.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Maybe?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it. Ibuki committed suicide.
Yeah, and?
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
Ibuki, obviously.
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
I mean, have you never heard the phrase murder-suicide?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone.
No. Well, yes, but not the way you're thinking.
So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
4 days.
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right?
Correct.
If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
No.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time.
Which would be Sonya and Kazuichi, but they're well, Kazuichi's suspicious, but not for that reason.
And that's you two! Sonya and Kazuichi!
Sonya is fairly clear in my mind as of right now. Kazuichi, I mean, I want to believe, but you gotta have some healthy suspicion.
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis.
Yo, do you think Kazuichi finally got in with Sonya and that's what they were doing?
Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
Yeah, but like, can we... I don't really know how Nekomaru... I'm just like gonna pretend he doesn't exist for now.
Me too!
That's good. That's good, Monokuma.
Hey, why are you talking like... Huh?
He does a better Nekomaru than I do.
You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Sorry, it's my job, lady.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue...
I mean, it's not really
we
my
should
job.
obviously doubt the people who
I don't get
have
paid for
alibis.
this.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall. Is this his professional skill?
Killer was inside the music venue. Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it? Make your argument. Spinny spin fun times. Let's go. Goop, 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 goop.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside,
We'll let it play
they
out.
tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
Stall for time?
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
It was this
Are you
chicken
talking about the
drumstick.
broken drumstick?
You can
Maybe
use that as
Chiaki
a
will say
bolt to
something.
lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
Chiaki!
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
Chiaki, say something, Chiaki!
I've seen this in serial crime dramas.
Okay, I don't... Person's remark contradicts the truth. Yeah, so...
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside,
blast
they
it!
tried to keep us from getting in.
Well, you know, we can just mash it as much as we want, right? Yeah, because there's no
How
penalty
did they
now.
lock the door?
So we can just keep blasting at all
That door
times.
should not have had a lock.
Let's,
The lock was on the floor.
Are you talking about the
You can use that as a... By doing that, waited till we get... And suddenly...
So they looked like
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Yeah, I know. I was
The
too
killer
slow.
was still inside. By locking the door from the inside.
Get blasted.
No, that's wrong! Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
It wasn't rubber. It was probably... glue?
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yes, delicious glue.
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth.
Why?
Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I had a lot of experiences in kindergarten. I know what glue tastes like.
Edible.
Yeah.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly.
So the drumstick was just kind of broken ahead of time and planted to mislead people?
if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know?
Yeah, that's
That
kind of...
doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so?
Well, I mean...
It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Well, I mean, how are you theoretically even supposed to gonna hide it, you know?
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Hey, at least you admit it. You know, Byakuya would have come up with some sort of excuse. But, you know, our good boy Fuyuhiko...
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
Anarchist Monami has entered into the chat room.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
Kane, what are you so surprised about?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
Shut up.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue,
If you're not the killer, I apologize in advance.
they must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier?
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Very true.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too.
You know, Nagito, at the very least you do take a controlling interest in the trial and move things along, even though it's not always in the direction we want.
Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
The scrap that was stuck on the baton lighting in the music venue. Now I should be able to figure out what it was. Oh no, he's concentrating, dude. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. Please be wallpaper. Wallpaper fits. Wallpaper fits. Is this a W? That's not how you send it. Thanks for the instant mulligan. Oh, they're dusted. They don't even know what's coming to them. Wall, looking. Ugh, you bastard. Like ships in the night. I'm looking for an A. Looking for an A. Ugh! No, my A, dude. That's so rude. How do I spell paper? Oh, you're gonna miss. Paper. I've been looking for a P for about, I don't know, 15 minutes. Any P's in chat? Oh, we actually had. Oh, get dunked on. Get out of my face.
I got it.
That scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there?
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper, see? It fits perfectly.
Yes, we'll just have to take our word that that's what the wallpaper looked like.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
I don't know, dude, yeah?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that.
Yeah, tell him, Hajime.
But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
Scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of the wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. What are we doing? Oh, it's this. How does this work? Okay. Hit me up with some sweet controls. Okay, accelerate, brake, jump. Got it. You jumped on? Get out of my face. Okay. Well, you're gonna need to do a little better than this. If you want to get us. Okay. Yep, we're still going. Question 1. It was hidden. It was hidden. Huh! It was, yep. I'm correct. I know I'm correct. I'm always correct, except for those times that I'm wrong. If you ignore all the times when you're wrong, you're always right. Okay. No, you know, maybe not the best minigame. Question 2. The wallpaper, a curtain. You just kind of goes a little slow. You know, I mean, I've got some boomer reactions, but they're not that bad. Hoo-yah! Hoo-yah! I wish we could just, like, maybe set, well, like, individual stuff to hard and easy. They covered the pillar, they formed a wall, covered the pillar? That seems correct. Perfect. Unbelievable accuracy. I mean, honestly, I actually kind of like the minigame itself isn't that good, but the idea of having questions and then having to pick the answer is fine. I like that. It's just the idea behind it is good. The execution leaves a little to be desired.
Got it.
Maybe the minigame gets a little bit more interesting if it gets more complicated, but it's just a little kind of boring on normal at least. Which is, you could maybe chalk that up more to me being a coward than anything. I got it. Hiyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
Yeah, I said that like 2 videos ago, Hajime.
What? They hid the pillar?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Well,
By wrapping
kind
the
of.
wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hiyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
It was like pillarception, if you will. That's a topical reference when this game came out.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Yeah?
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
Yeah.
That's how they hid Hiyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
Now, Hiyoko, I mean, you know, she did say something that we didn't... I mean, she participated. Trial participation does directly reduce the amount of sus on you. So you go down like a small percentage, Mikan.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper.
Now, Kazuichi, whatever his name is, he has not participated at all. Sus levels rise a little bit.
And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
Yeah?
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
Oh, and you think it's something that you wouldn't do?
But the crime itself would be much
I don't
easier
buy
to
your
pull
act.
off, since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually killed?
11 days ago.
Good
She's
point.
been dead this entire
And on that
time.
note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
D? Oh,
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
sue me. Oh, wait, all the court systems are collapsed.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
Is it mothballs or moss balls? Come on, make up your mind, buddy.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them.
'Cause she said moss balls, but it sounded like he said mothballs.
I knew it.
Maybe I just
There
heard
are
wrong.
so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
I mean, kinda. It also said she got shot by arrows, which did not happen.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
Wait until the end of the trial.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
Yeah. Nagito, tell him. The reason? I have no clue. To mix up the killing order? Ah, to mix up the killing order? To let the hide the weapons? Mix up the killing order?
I see!
The reason
I
the
wouldn't have
killer
really thought
imitated
about
two of
that.
the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
I wouldn't have really thought of them as being sequential, but I guess I could see that.
Then, Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean?
She got blood on her, dude.
If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
Are you, though?
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
It's not like I wanted you to tell me or anything.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying.
Go ahead and tell him, Hajime.
An even bigger trigger, jerk! Impossible!
Dude, Gundam's so good.
Ibuki died because she
Never
hanged
die
herself,
or
right?
murder anyone, please. I
That
need
means
you
when she was still alive,
to take the edge
her
off.
feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Yeah, what he said.
Man, he's being annoying again.
This is not annoying. This is, art.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
He's got her. That's it. Chiake's the killer. Vote Chiake.
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
This is kind of is this what the conversation looked like when Hajime is doing the blade duel? Is this what it looks like for everyone else?
You're one to talk.
Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it'd be best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. Honestly, I probably should have been paying more attention during that. I kind of zoned out a little bit. Blood on the souls. I'm going with that. It being the default one kind of scares me. That's not how you open the menu. There are bloodstains on her feet. Yep, okay. When Hiyoko died...
Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
Okay. Incorrect.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
She got blood in her feet.
Feet were on the floor.
She's got blood in her feet.
Was there any sign she stepped on something?
She stepped on something.
I agree with that. Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something.
Yes.
That something was blood.
Our balls.
There were faint bloodstains.
We were
on the
really
soles
into
of her
that.
slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power
no.
of the evil eye.
Oh no, it's blade battle.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
You disrespect the son of a shepherd?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line.
Did he just mock us?
But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this
Tanaka?
will be destroyed,
More
you
like
know.
Tamaka? Alright, I'm gonna end the Let's Play now. I'm joking.
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
What? Okay. Challenge you to a duel? Oh god, there's so much. Smudge on the floor. Smudge on the floor. Go smudge on the floor.
You're saying
We
the
love
blood
the smudge on the
Ibuki's
floor.
feet belongs to
Ah!
Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood.
There was
on the
blood?
floor.
Wait, what? What do you mean? The smudge is blood, dude.
Crap!
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no
Step
blood on the
ladder.
floor. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged. Ha! Impossible!
Did I not
Try to
have
remember
smudge?
the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor. You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about 1 minute. Did you see a nice nightmare?
As long as Ibuki's
Oh, that was just a
body has
trap?
no open wounds,
You weren't actually supposed to counter it?
there's no doubt that that blood is Hiyoko's.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes. Then it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your feet. It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
Oh my god, it's so much. Dude, there was nothing... Yeah,
Hiyoko was taped to the
So wait, we're
pillar,
supposed to go
yes.
back on purpose?
And it's possible.
None of these... It's not smudge? How is it not smudge? Man, I must have had it on the wrong thing. Yeah, go ahead and blast me
However,
back.
You cannot step on the pillar with your feet. You should feel proud of yourself.
I really feel like I had
It's been
smudge
nearly
on there.
3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
Blast me back.
Damn it!
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me
Yeah.
to cut through those words.
Okay. I guess maybe I hit the button to switch at the same time by
The
accident.
reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
I know that happened in the first trial where I didn't know the controls, so I hit the switch truth blade button to try and send it, and then immediately hit the send button correctly right afterwards out of panic. Maybe that's what happened there.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
Hey, also, well, we'll
When
let
the
this
killer
conversation
tried to
kind
hide
of peter
Hyogo's
out and then we'll
body,
end things.
They probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right?
Yeah.
Even if they're able to hide Hiyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyogo's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding.
Yeah.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
Shut up, Mikon. You're trying to cover for yourself.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact. So the killer probably did not know it either.
Also, I don't buy that at all. I mean, the blood will still kind of leak out and everything, so...
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
Wrong.
That's right. I didn't know the time of death because of the heater.
Maybe. Maybe that's right. I don't know.
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right?
Okay, we'll find out if Nagito's gonna jump in and say anything stupid in the next video. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.